Hey everyone, Dan here. It is Tuesday, June 29th in the evening. Today we're going to take a look at Opendoor Technologies. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also, let me know what you think of the format of today's video. This is going to be a quick hit kind of video. It's not going to be in the double digits in terms of minutes long. It's just a chart analysis, and so I'm trying to see if it's helpful for folks if I do quicker videos on stocks that just require a chart analysis, and then I can get potentially more videos out in a week or over the course of time. So let me know if this is like too quick and not enough info, or what your thoughts are. So Open has been on an interesting path here as of late. Today I see this with a lot of stocks. For whatever reason, it was falling a bit short of the average volume in the past three months. So who knows why, but neither here nor there. But let's zoom out a little bit, just kind of get our bearings in the last 6 months. So it's been caught in this really profound downtrend here, is caught under the weight of this downtrend line here that we saw. Essentially, like, it tried to break out of it here, but then it sort of came back down and kicked itself off of it. It's probably a more accurate representation of what happened. So, you kind of want to draw it to include this one, but honestly, that's kind of the lazy thing to do, because this encompasses four stress tests of this downtrend line, and it finally broke out there, and then it did the thing that stocks often do when they break out of a channel or break a trend line, is they just immediately come right back to it, like a Stockholm syndrome kind of situation or something. I don't know. But what it did here is it came down, touched on it, and then used it essentially as the kickoff for consolidation point, almost like a support zone that it needed to establish in order to kick itself sideways. And now it's, it is in a channel, but this is what I call a consolidation channel. It's moving slightly up, but really all that it's doing is just consolidating along this. This isn't something that I would expect it to establish as like a long-term up channel. I think it's just consolidating, figuring out what its next move is going to be. The good thing about this is the price action up until this point, at least for the time frame in which this chart is spanning, has been really choppy, like really steep ups and downs. And so there haven't been a lot of periods in which it kind of formed a consolidation channel, which might sort of say to me that this like 13, well, say 14 and a half down to 1341. There's sort of like a little band of floor here. So I would say these two, I would say, kind of probably work together in tandem to make a floor, like a current floor for Open. That's how I am interpreting this. The bounce off of there, the consolidation period, which is not a common thing that we see throughout the history of this stock, steep ups and downs. I'm like just trying to look for another consolidation period to point to. There's kind of not really one. This was a little bit, and this was for sure. And even that one looks pretty similar, actually. Like, comes down steep and then consolidates here. Right, it had this little move, almost like the one that we see now, where it's like left a thing and then came back down to a thing, and then slight upward direction on that consolidation channel. Slightly higher lows here, and then it used that as a springboard. Though it tried to come back down again, and then finally caught a tailwind up. But so that's what I would be looking for now. Sort of like, this is the new floor for Open. Sits between 1451 and 1348, and that it's consolidating right now, trying to figure out the next direction that it's going to move to. So I wouldn't track that channel as something like playing it like it's a channel. I would just take a look at it like, okay, when it starts to leave this channel, then it's leaving that consolidation period and choosing its next direction. So a couple of good things that are useful for choosing next direction: MACDs. As you see, the MACDs are all in alignment with each other. They spend some time overlapping with each other here, which is a good sign. Now they're starting to unwind right now. I don't know if they'll continue to. They're still very close. But if these start to spread as they've, like in the direction or in the formation that they've started to right now, if this were to unfurl and get some distance, it would be in a bullish formation, okay? We'll see if that continues to be the case or not, but right now, that's the way that I would read it. Now, if we did want to look at some price targets to the upside, some areas at which it'll likely hit some support and resistance as it tries to make its way up, 1893. You know, if it can flip resistance to support there, would give it a launch pad to 21. It has a really good spread between, you know, basically the distance between friction points. Some stocks you get into, we had this with Palantir for quite a while, where like the stock would have, you know, it was like in its 20s, and there would be like 6 friction points in the span of like $1.50, and the chart just looks like really hard to track because you don't have any distance. Like it doesn't ever settle into a price zone before it makes a run at the next price zone. They're all just kind of like sitting on top of each other. So this is pretty well spread out for a stock that's so low in price. You know, you have a stop at 18, almost 19, and then a big run up to 21. That's a good percentage gain. That's over 10%, right? And then you have dollar stops, $22, $23. Again, good percentage gains. Then a nice big run, space for run room from high 23s to mid 26s. That's another good percentage gain. And then get you just shy of $30, where it'll probably hit significant psychological pressure, like selling pressure, as well as just the technical selling pressure that we've seen before in this area. But that's what I would look for on this one. I'm going to turn this some other color because it's not a price target. Quick look at the indicators in this one. RSIs come down to the midline, so definitely allowing for additional bullish pressure to come in. What I could see happening is it continues to consolidate in this channel, you know, whether that's briefly or, you know, over a long period of time, gets support at that 1893 and then just starts to run up and flip these upper price targets from resistance to support. That would sort of be indicative of the big type of aggressive move that we're looking for it to make as it comes out of this channel. Just know that that could also be to the downside, just as easily as it could be to the upside. So similarly to the MAs, basically what we're seeing on the MACD is a consolidation period since it's settled into this area here. Slightly bullish, so you see green areas on the histogram and not really much red. But sort of like, you know, just bobbing and weaving over each other with the MACD and the signal line, kind of waiting to choose a direction. And I think this one is just sort of like a wait and see, or take your chances if you're a little bit more, I don't know, willing to risk at this point, and, you know, potentially take a position early, sooner than later, thinking that the big breakout that's going to happen will be bullish. But just be aware, be very cautious if it is bearish. That could be quite a big downturn. Okay, well, that'll do it for this one. Good luck if you're an open or if you end up taking a position. I wish you the best, and I will see you in the next video.